Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Championship preview and predictions. Round 42. Real football with real stakes. Properly business end of the season now. Lots could happen tonight. There are the games ticking. We got 5 tonight. We got 7 tomorrow. But tonight alone, we could see Norwich crowned champions. We could see Watford go within 1 game of promotion. We could see Brentford and Swansea catching up on Watford. We could see Derby swing wildly away from or towards relegation. We could see Sheffield Wednesday go down. That's just tonight. Tomorrow, more on the playoff picture, and Wycombe could go down tomorrow also. This depends on a Derby victory. Some really, really big games. As ever, we need your help with the predictions in the comments. We're going to get to that very, very shortly. But first, let me know that you can see me, hear me loudly and clearly. As ever, for the preview show, we are sponsored by the Donovan brothers in loving memory of Michael of South East London, a lifelong Millwall fan, admirer of this show. Thank you, as ever, to the Donovan brothers. They got involved over on Patreon. You can do the same. Exclusive shows. We're already opened the mailbag for the Thursday Q&A, which I think might have a certain theme this week. But we are going to steer clear of that theme. You all know what I'm talking about until the end of the show. You can ask me questions and we can chat about the Super League at the end of the show. I really want to just focus, like I said, on some proper football, real football with real stakes. You can get involved via Super Chat at any point in the show. First Super Chat has become king of the beer and own the fake news Simbin and Pedant Corner. And if you're watching on YouTube, we have 15,200 subscribers. Now, please get involved, hit subscribe, ring the bell, but most importantly, have your say. Because, as you may hear this week, football is all about the fans and everybody wants to hear what everybody else has got to say and, of course, have their own say. There is the running order. Again, if you do want to chat Super League, we'll do it at the end of the show. If you can't wait, I've already made... I clipped out the video from yesterday, so you can go and watch that. But we are going to get into the Championship. First of all, let's just say hello in the chat to Mark, who hopes the Norwich players are out on the source. Liam, Adam. We lay rest to a proper blue nose. Rest in peace, Gary Parks. Okay, big shout out to the memory there of Gary Parks, one of our Birmingham friends. Sad news. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for respecting that. Judging by the videos, Norwich are not going to be at their sparkling best for the Ewan Roberts derby. You love to see it. Daniel Farker accompanied by Kit Man on tube. Dearie me. We hope they have sobered up for a good old challenge. Let's just bang through, just say hello to everybody here in the chat. Great to see and hear from you. There you go. Big night. Best league in the world. Beautiful stuff. Hello to everybody. Right. Let's get into the predictions. Now, just remember, at this stage of the season, not only do I have my Joker card on my predictions, but I have my cat and there are pigeons. So that may inform my predictions, let's just say. I do love the last day of the season to have something riding on it. Remember, there are always scenarios that say that may not happen. There are your fixtures, guys. So tonight, Brentford-Cardiff, Norwich-Watford, Preston-Derby. That feels big, doesn't it? Wednesday, Blackburn, Swansea, QPR. A lot of eyes will be on Norwich-Watford first versus second. Doesn't quite feel as important as Derby and Sheffield Wednesday tonight. A Derby win and a Wednesday defeat Sheffield Wednesday will be relegated down to League One if Derby win and Sheffield lose. That is the same of Wycombe tomorrow night. If, and it's a big if, Derby go to Preston and win. Millwall versus Bournemouth tomorrow night. Rotherham, Borough, Stoke, Coventry, Wycombe, Bristol City. Again, Wycombe can be relegated this round if they lose and Derby get a victory. In fact, if Derby were to draw and Wycombe were to lose, that would be enough as well for Wycombe to go. Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe right on the cliff edge tonight and tomorrow. Birmingham, Forest, Huddersfield, Barnsley, Luton, Reading. Reading are the only team who can give a good chase to Barnsley now, aren't they? We don't want it all sorted before the final games of the season. Plenty to be decided as it pertains to second place, playoffs and relegation. Let's go to that big first against second game, which is slightly less big, being Norwich's destiny is now confirmed. Norwich are promoted, so they can play for the championship. If Norwich win, they will be champions, but Norwich's work is already done. Watford would obviously like to follow Norwich, and this is where we now get into intensity and potential drops in intensity when a side who's played so well all season has done their job 4 games early. You finish your work by 2:30. Are you still going to be bang on it until 5 o'clock? You tell me. And get your predictions in for this one. In the chat, please. Norwich, draw, or Watford, please. Get your predictions in. Norwich, draw, or Watford. There will be suspensions to Dimitri Giannoulis, the Norwich left back. He was red carded. So was Kiko Firmino. So that side of the pitch, the Watford left back and the Norwich left back and the Watford right back, we'll expect to see a couple of different players in those spots. Adam Masina, the Watford left back, missed the game against Luton at the weekend. I suspect he may be back, but it may be a different look down that side of the pitch in this one. Otherwise, you would expect, we know, we can reel them off, can't we? Norwich will be Krull, Aarons, Hanley, Omabamidele, if I can say it, whoever they put in at left back, Skip, McLean, Buendia, Dowell, Campbell and Pookie. And Watford, you would expect, obviously without Firmino, Backman, Ekong, Sierralta, Messina may be back, left back. Maybe Chalobah returns over Carlos Sanchez with Hughes and Zinkernagel, Sema, Sarr, João Pedro. We know what the teams are. We'll see how things pan out. There's the homes. Norwich. Well, they're not going to catch Watford's great home record, are they? Only 6 more points for Norwich, but superb home records for both. Watford's away record, less so, but certainly improved. And again, take a look at the table. So Norwich, well, champions or not champions, they're still going up. A Watford win takes them to 85 points with 3 games to go. Those 3 games being Millwall, Brentford and Swansea. A Watford defeat coupled with a Swansea win and a Brentford win. And all of a sudden, Swansea are 1 game away from Watford, 3 points. Brentford would be further. With the game in hand, both sides would still play Watford. The cat amongst the pigeons result here is actually a Norwich win. Would put the cat amongst the pigeons if Swansea and Brentford can do good work behind them. Let's have a look at some predictions here. What are you guys saying? Meow. Does that mean a Norwich win then, I guess, doesn't it? That's the cat amongst the pigeons result. What do we got? Norwich draw, Norwich, Watford draw, Watford, Norwich, Norwich, Norwich draw. Watford drunk Norwich. You love to see it. Draw. Watford draw. Need Norwich but Watford draw. Sorensen, thank you. He'll play left back. Thank you, Sophie. I'm glad you're here. Who's going to play right back for Watford then? Can anyone help me with that? Need Norwich win. Hip injury for Messina. Okay, we won't be seeing him then. Pookie, Hanley, Cantwell, they're all sobering up, are they? Nice. Draw. Norwich can clinch the title. Both fullbacks out, plus loss of form home. Sadly, I think Watford are the kind of functional team we lose to. Watford. Well, there's going to be a theme with my predictions here, as in throwing the cat amongst the pigeons. There we go. Quintia could play left back also, and Gaki a right back. Thank you, Stephen. There we go. Brilliant stuff. Knowledgeable people as ever in our chat here. Well, it's not the Joker, but the cat amongst the pigeons result is what I'm going to go for across the board here. Home. I promise I won't do it predictably all the way through, but it's going to be an interesting game, especially if the fullbacks are not all. We expect possibly 3 of the 4 first choice fullbacks not to be on the pitch in this game. And it's the most natural thing in the world. Will Norwich drop off? And can Watford, with all of the pressure on them tonight? By the way, all 3 of our second, third, fourth teams are all playing tonight, aren't they? So let's move on. Well, in fact, 1, 2, 3, and 4 if we factor Norwich in as well. Let's move on then. Swansea versus QPR, which our friends at the Swans cast have just tweeted. Angel Rangel has retired. What a player, eh? So the Angel Rangel derby, easy for me to say, is Swansea versus QPR. Where is this game, guys? It's in Wales. But remember, QPR are good, and QPR are finishing, well, I don't even want to say finishing the season strongly. That's not fair. They've been in form since January, QPR. Someone give me the points and the games, please, in the chat. I'm guessing 17 games, 34, 35, or 18 and 35. Someone figure that out for us in the chat. But QPR are on form and have bumped themselves up to 10th place in the table. Swansea, well, they went to the back 4, won those 2 away games, back to the back 3 at the weekend. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't know if Steve or Amy or anyone in the chat can confirm that for us. And got a draw against, we can call inform Wickham as well. That's how the table looks. So if Watford do lose at Norwich, Swansea would go to within 3 points with a head-to-head game. Okay, it's at Vicarage Road, where Watford have been just outstandingly brilliant. But the cat is then amongst the pigeons, isn't it? QPR, as we've said, have been in good form for a while. Get your predictions in, please. I need Swans, draw, or Rangers. Get your predictions in. Let's look at the homes and away. Swansea at home. Look at that. 3 defeats in 5. 1 point in 3. The only victory there in the last 5 for Swans was over Borough. And remember, a very, very late penalty got that win there. Not viable home form, really, from Swansea. QPR's away form across the season isn't great. 7 points in the last 5 is decent. 1 at Borough at the weekend. Defeats against Forest and Rotherham. Can you rattle QPR at the moment? They on the beach, sort of on the beach, but kind of playing quite well whilst on the beach. Having a lovely old time. Drinking the pina colada. Right. What are you guys saying in the chat? Lightweights. Leeds were hammered when they played double. They won 4-1, didn't they? 3-1, 4-1. Rangers. Upper Rangel. Absolutely. Was he about 38 and he was still playing for QPR, wasn't he? Draw. Swans. Rangers. Draw. Angel Rangel. All over it. Rangers. Draw. Lots of love for the Rangel here. There we go. Away. Draw. Swans. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention that. Good point. Ayew, did he do his hamstring? I think it's just a tweak, not a tear, was it? But yes, not good news there. Swans, Rangers, Swans, draw. Swansea have to go with Rangers, that 8th place cup. How will Swans cope without Ayew? We'll see, won't we? Swans, draw. We won 3-1. Oh, is that the Leeds game? There we go. I was close. wasn't I? Okay, then. Here we go. Home! I promise my predictions will be sensible. We just want some fun before the end of the season. Sorry, Watford fans. I am taking it seriously. But look, Watford are away at first place and Swansea are at home to 10th place. It's not an unreasonable prediction, is it? Is it really? Let's move on to Brentford, who play Cardiff. Brentford versus Cardiff. Cardiff are virtually on the beach now, aren't they? Let's bring the table up and you will see the distance between now Cardiff in 8th and Barnsley in 6th as it pertains to Cardiff and the faint glimmer of a hope that they could reach the playoffs. Look, Cardiff's maximum upside now is 4 wins from 4, 72. Barnsley need 2 points from 4 games to get rid of Cardiff. However, Reading are much closer. Anyway, we're talking about Brentford. Now, a Watford defeat and a Swansea win, which I have had the temerity to predict, would put Watford at 82, Swans at 79. A Brentford win would put them at 77. With the game in hand against Rotherham, they would be within 2 points. I know ifs, buts and maybes, and particularly for you Watford fans, I'm painting very much a worst case scenario. Does that happen? Sometimes. Does it always happen? Not so sure about that. Get your predictions in, please, guys. It's at Brentford. Brentford draw or Cardiff. Are Cardiff going to be a little bit psychologically damaged? They nearly won at Reading, didn't they? Which was a key opponent. Yaku Maite equalised in the 94th minute. Let's have a look at the homes and aways and then at your predictions. If you're a fan of either team, get me any team news in there as well. Brentford stuttering at home. That's not good enough in a promotion chase, is it? I know it's undefeated, but it's 3 draws. Their home form's good generally, nearly 2 points per game, a couple of wins in the next 2. Well, in fact, a win in the next, 2 wins in the next 2, and they would be at 2 points per game for the season. Cardiff, excellent away form. However, they have plateaued very much after the hashtag new manager bounce under Mick, and everything's kind of leveled out now, hasn't it? What are you guys saying in the chat on this one? Bees draw, needed confidence back for next season. The Cardiff draw, unhelpful draw. Brentford couldn't back Cardiff. Yes, you can. Leave your bias at the door. Brentford draw. Brentford draw. Brentford. Bees. There we go. Not the opponents you need this time of season. Not Mick. Yeah. Bees draw. Bees. I think Mick will use some youngsters. Ruben Coyle. Yes, been hearing about him from our Cardiff friends. A Man United fan looking for a new club. There you go. Come and join us in the Championship. Paddy. Right. What am I saying in this one? Look, I can't go full on cat amongst the pigeons. So let's go for an unhelpful Mick McCarthy draw in this one. Brentford and Cardiff to draw. Right. Indulge me for a minute because we have a new sponsor. You can get 20% discount at cardsplug.com. What the hell is Cardsplug? Well, look what I got sent. Unbelievable scenes. This is me as a football player at Cardsplug. Look at my, let me take my finger. Look at my 95 passing ability there. Unbelievable scenes and my slow pace and lack of physicality. There we go. I think we've got that exactly right. This is my Cardsplug card. Look, with the Benjamin Bloom badge. I'm going to be playing for England in central midfield. What a player I am. Visit cardsplug.com/bloom. So don't go in the normal Cardsplug entrance. Enter the discount code Bloom at checkout. You need to do both and you will get 20% and you too can have your likeness on a card. Isn't that fantastic? Cardsplug.com/Bloom and you need to enter Bloom at checkout. We're going to give you 20% off. There we go. Enough salesmanship from me. We'll get that one off the screen and we'll get back into the predictions. And it is Millwall versus Bournemouth. Is that a Lewis Grabban derby? I think most games in the Championship are either a Neil Warnock or a Lewis Grabban derby. Bournemouth in fine old form, a 6th straight victory. Okay, they did play 10 at Norwich for much of the game, but 6 straight wins is 6 straight wins. And Dan Juma is in fabulous form, isn't he? The left winger, the Dutchman for Bournemouth. So get your predictions in, please, for this one. Millwall versus Bournemouth, please. All I need to hear is Millwall draw or Bournemouth. And there is the situation in the league table. So Bournemouth are now only 2 points off Swansea. Okay, they're 8 points off Watford with having played a game more than Brentford, who are tied on the same points. But if they keep their run going, if they made it a 10-game winning streak, they would finish with 86 points. Will it be enough? I don't know. We normally go with 85 here. Get your predictions in. Bournemouth, draw, Millwall. Sorry, Millwall, draw, Bournemouth. It's at Millwall. Millwall have just dropped off the last 2 games, although they did put a spanner in the works in Brentford's automatic push with that 0-0 draw. It was defeat in the previous game, however, for Millwall against Swansea. Difficult run. So they stopped Brentford, but they didn't stop Swansea, who they lost 3-0, against. Millwall's home form is big picture bad, given that they're in the top half and they're 16th. But 3 wins in the last 5, that's decent. And they've stopped drawing, I say, at home, because away from home they did obviously draw their last game. Bournemouth, well, winning streak, winning home form. Look at that. 13 points in the last 5 games at home. What are you guys saying in the chat? What do we got? Oh, guys, you're reacting. 92? Yeah, pretty good. 71 defending. 99 talking. 99 hair. There we go. 73 pace, a bit quicker, probably. If you saw me running around the village earlier on today, dearie me. Right. Let's move on. Anyway, away. Conor Mahoney derby. Good shout. Topical. 3-1. Draw. Bournemouth. Adam Smith derby. Has Dan Juma been capped by any of the representatives? Anyway, draw. Hutch, Leonard, Thompson, Smith, Zohore, all out. Away, says Chris, a Millwall fan. Draw. Cherries. Draw. Millwall's fixtures affecting the playoffs. They'll hope so, because that'll mean they're scoring some points. That's niche. Who's Josh McQuaid? I was going to say Jock McQuaid and make it even more Scottish there. Away. Bournemouth, big win, says Steve. Pearson Wallace will struggle against the Cherries threat. Remember Swans' end of last season? Oh, only 2. Well, I think Russ put that up on the Benjamin Bloom Clips channel, didn't he? Go and subscribe to that. Right. What am I saying in this one? I think the winning streak ends here. Draw. But Bournemouth still look a good bet in the playoffs. I think Rowett will be able to stop Woodgate. Huddersfield versus Barnsley. Get your predictions in, please. Huddersfield, draw, or Barnsley. Huddersfield with a heroic victory at Forest right when they needed it across the weekend. Huddersfield winning at Forest. Barnsley losing at Coventry. And we heard, even from our Barnsley friends, that they didn't look quite at it. Weren't their normal incessant selves. Ishmael's Barnsley here. Get your predictions in, please. Huddersfield, draw, or Barnsley. This game is tomorrow night, so Barnsley will get that day that they deserve, having played on Sunday. Barnsley, well, the worst case scenario is they lose and that Reading win, and all of a sudden that gap is 1 point. And this is what we're talking about, these 6 point swings. At the moment, the gap is 4. And we know it could be 1 point, but it could be 7 points if results go in their favour. Stating the bleeding obvious, I know. But Huddersfield, do we think they're safe? Rotherham's games in hand are running out. We still have 2, for goodness sakes. And Huddersfield have put in an 8-point lead. And we always talk about a point per game, don't we? That's all it takes as SofaScore decides to reset at an inopportune moment, as it always does. 5 points in the last 5 and looking good and well above the point per game for the season there, Huddersfield. 5 points above it, in fact, 47 from 42. Let's look at the homes and aways. Get your predictions in, please, guys. Huddersfield, draw, or Barnsley. Huddersfield at home, not good at all. No wins in 5. However, there was that draw against Brentford, weren't they? But 4 points in the last 5. Okay. If it had been no wins from 5 but 5 draws, we'd be saying point per game, keep you away, won't we? So I don't want to contradict myself. Not too many times in the same stream. Anyway, Barnsley, 4 straight away wins. And it was the end of, was it a club record away winning streak at Coventry at the weekend? What are you guys saying in the chat? Barnsley and Huddersfield. Here we go. Barnsley. Huddersfield draw. Barnsley. Huddersfield, Barnsley. Fairly mixed. Away, Huddersfield, Barnsley. Big Val won't tolerate that 2 weeks in a row. Tremendous. Anthony K. Derby. Nice. Barnsley. Draw. Wasn't it these two that played out a ball draw when they were sat down virtually as a draw suited both? Can't remember. What, last season? Pass. Barnsley. And an away there. Okay. I'm going to go with you guys in the chat then, because it was pretty solid on Barnsley, wasn't it? Okay. Away. We'll go for Barnsley to defeat Huddersfield. It would be a cat amongst the pigeons result as well down the bottom there. If, and only if, someone in the bottom 3 can win a game. No one in the current bottom 3 has won any of their last 2 games. 0 wins in 6 combined for the bottom 3 over that sample size. Let's talk Reading. And it is Luton versus Reading. Luton on to 56 now. And can they put a spanner in the works of Reading's play-off push? Let me know what you think in the chat. Luton, draw, or Reading? Luton, draw, or Reading, please, guys. Reading, well, we just said in the Barnsley analysis, didn't we, or predictions, it could be a 1-point gap, it could be a 7-point gap. Very, very fine margins and things can turn quickly here. We said about Luton all season, don't have a bad day against Luton. You know, okay, they don't have the money or maybe the players that a lot of the teams have, but if you have a bad day, Luton will punish you. And you can see they're halfway up the table with 56 points from just 36 goals. And Watford had a bad day against Luton and Luton beat them. And Luton have 56 points and they're looking for 60. So Reading cannot afford to slip up. Forgive me if I'm misremembering this. Didn't Reading hammer Luton 5 towards the end of last season? Maite score 4? Am I remembering that game right? Let's look at the homes and aways. Get your predictions in, please, guys. Luton, draw, or Reading. At home, Luton have 8 victories, 6 defeats. They have, however, won, bit spotty, look, 3 of their last 5 against Watford, Coventry, and Wednesday, with defeats against Swansea and Barnsley, 2 teams in the top 6 there, where Reading did reside for most of the season. Reading's away form stuttered badly. 2 points from the last 4. They haven't managed to get victories against Forest, where they drew, Birmingham, where they lost, Barnsley, where they drew, and Watford, where they lost. So some key away games recently. You could argue the league table would say those opponents, two of those opponents weren't as, were harder, than Luton. I'll get around to what I'm trying to say in the end. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying in the chat here. It's Luton versus Reading. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay, Luton. And now do we get a streak the other way? Reading away. Draw. I get accused of being on the fence if I do that. Draw. Reading. Luton will have been celebrating harder than Norwich. First league win in the M1 derby since 1994, wasn't it? Watford podcast guy talking about how gnarly playing at Luton's ground is. You got to love it. There we go. Plenty of other ones. Luton, Reading, 5-0. Oof. 2-1. I'm going to go with my heart here. You know I live close to Luton. You know my missus works in Luton. But I want a playoff chase. So I'm going cat amongst pigeons. Away! There we go. Have I stitched up every team with nothing to play for now? Or less to play for? Let's go for a Reading win. And to close things up there. Did we do Barnsley? I didn't miss it out, did I? Yes, we did Huddersfield and Barnsley. Right, moving on. Why don't I just look at the running order that's literally ticking across the screen there. Rotherham versus Middlesbrough. One of our favourite subjects on the channel, Rotherham. Let's get into it. Rotherham, draw, or Middlesbrough, full-on Neil Warnock derby in this one. Rotherham versus Borough. Get your predictions in. Borough on the beach, 1 point from 5. Rotherham battling away 4 games in, what would you call it, 8 days, or if you actually analyse the start times of those games, you could argue 7. The 8th day wasn't quite completed, was it, by the time the last one kicked off? But we're well and truly into pedant corner there with that type of analysis. It was 4 games in a football week, wasn't it, by most definitions we use. Get your predictions in, please. Rotherham versus Borough. And Rotherham came a cropper at the end of Rotherham week with 2 defeats. However, 3 straight defeats for Derby means it was Birmingham, then it was Coventry. Rotherham still have somebody to shoot at here. And if they can score 4 points in the games in hand, then they could be at 42 points 42 games with 43 points, which is where Derby are currently. They've got to win a game, though. Can they do it against Warnock and Borough, who, as I said, 4 defeats in 5, lost at home to Rangers, didn't they? Let's have a look at the homes and aways. Rotherham now, unfortunately for our stats, have the worst home form in the division, don't they? That doesn't bode well. Borough's away form is 4 straight defeats as well. So maybe we can plead the 5th on the home and away form and not look into that one too much, let's just say. Get your predictions in. I am not sure. Rotherham versus Borough. I believe then, I think they've got 4 away games in the last 5, haven't they? After this one, Rotherham. Does that matter? COVID, Rotherham being the worst home team in the division? I don't know. What I do know is that I want to know what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's have a look. Good memory, something I don't normally have, Paul. There we go. Rotherham 2-1. Proper football. Absolutely, says a Donny fan there. 100%. Rotherham, Millers, Borough, Lewis Wing derby. He'll be exempt from playing though, won't he, Alex? Borough, home, Rotherham, Borough, Rotherham. We're all over this, aren't we? Let's keep scrolling down. One for the football purists. You've got to love it, haven't you? Head says draw knock. Heart says Rotherham 1-0. Rotherham to score last. I've done enough cat amongst the pigeons predictions. So I'm going for the most unhelpful. I mean, Borough don't care. They're on the beach. The most unhelpful to Rotherham. Draw in this one. We're going to go for a draw. Rotherham to draw against Borough. And then all eyes on Derby against Preston, which is tonight. Rotherham Borough is tomorrow. Pressure heaped on if Derby can get a victory tonight. Right, let's talk Stoke versus Coventry. Coventry, my team of the week after their back-to-back victories. Tremendous work from Coventry, not only just in the last 2 games, but 3 wins in 4 for the Sky Blues. Everybody is very quick to point out teams that choke under pressure and use that unkind term bottlers, which you know I hate. So please do the opposite now and say, take a bow, Coventry. When the pressure was on at Rotherham, they won, and then they also beat Barnsley at the weekend. Great work from Coventry, who now have 48 points with 4 games to play. Should be able to get over 50, shouldn't they? They should be safe. But Rotherham are still a wild card while they have the 2 games in hand, even though points per game says that they're not going to get above 46 as things stand. A win changes that. And that's been the annoying thing we're trying to predict with Rotherham's games in hand and them hovering above, below the point per game. They're currently below it. Stoke, don't really know what to say. Well and truly on the beach. 17 points above the relegation zone and 15 points below the playoffs. I wonder whether they'll finish exactly equidistant. What a great word for a musician. Let's look at the homes and aways, and then we'll look at what you guys are saying in this one. Stoke's home form, middling, but decent recently. Look, 7 points in 4. Decent recently. Put your teeth in to say that one. Coventry's away form is bad, but when the chips were down, they won at Rotherham, didn't they? What are you guys saying in the chat for Coventry visiting Stoke? Let's have a look. And draw. Coventry. Away. Draw. Coventry. Stoke. Callum, 2 good performances. Turned our season around. Suter suspended. The monster at the back. Huge bloke, isn't he? All safe now, but I think we could nick it. Stoke. Away. Robbins also stated he wants to secure championship safety. I'm sure he does. Draw. Beach ball draw there. That's the right emoji, isn't it? What would you call that? A parasol. Another great word from a musician there. Unbelievable. Jimmy Buffett, I am going to pop you in the timeout there. If you could refrain from such awful language in there. We try and keep it nice and clean here. Not only so I don't get demonetized, but it just works better, doesn't it? There we go. I'm sure we can articulate ourselves without the old F word. Don't get me wrong. I swear like a trooper around the house, but not on here, guys. Not on here. What am I saying? Stoke versus Coventry. Go on. Let's go for a heroic treble then. And let's go for a Coventry win. Let's do it. Go on. Away. Coventry to get the victory. Right. Moving on. Only a few to go now. And next up is Wycombe versus Bristol City. Key round this for Wycombe. They could be relegated. If Derby win and Wycombe lose, Wycombe will be relegated, I believe. And I'll just double check on the table. So Wycombe's upside after a defeat is only 9. Would take them to 43. So let me rephrase. A Derby draw and a Wycombe defeat means Wycombe would be down. A Derby win and a Wycombe win would mean 46-37. We're into the realms of goal difference then, and Wycombe's is hopeless. So any kind of Derby win, and Wycombe are kind of as good as down, if not mathematically down. If you look at the goal difference, Derby minus 17, Wycombe minus 34. So basically, a Derby win tonight could really, really kill Wycombe. And Wycombe almost really killing themselves. Such a bad start, and then heroically going for it at the end of the season. They led. Look at that red circle with the L in it. That was a lead against Luton, and they lost. And a 2-0 lead they had against Swansea, and they drew. If you were to add on 5 points from that, I know if buts and maybes, then things would be very different. Bristol City haven't won in forever, have they? But they've stopped losing, I guess. A couple of draws. Nigel Pearson sticking some youngsters in. Will Bristol City have A, the intensity, and B, the physicality to go against Wycombe Wanderers here? Get your predictions in, please. Wycombe draw or Bristol City. I'm quickly going to do the homes and aways. Home and away. Wycombe at home are not very good, but they do have 2 wins in 4. Only Rotherham have fewer points, however, at home. Bristol City away are far better than they are at home. They're a horrible losing streak. Only 2 points in 3, but they're not losing. Defeat, not losing many, I have to say. 1 in 5. Defeat came at the hands of Coventry. Let's have a look at your predictions here. For Wycombe versus Bristol City. What are we guys saying here? Lansbury suspension overturned. I dare say, on first look, I didn't think that hit his hand. But there we go. We'll move on. Draw. Wycombe. Draw. Not a lot of love for City here. Wycombe. There you go. There's one away. Wycombe to hang on for a change. Will it happen? Home. Wycombe. Unhelpful draw. Wycombe. Robbins. Wycombe. Wycombe's results relegated Bristol Rovers so many times it would be a shame to be the ones to send them down. I think it's more, we give the credit more to Derby there, but yes, I know what you mean. Paul, Wycombe home. Okay, then. I'll go with you guys then. So it's not a cat amongst the pigeons, it's a chat one. I'm not going against the chat. Home. The heroic Wycombe chase that will probably ultimately come a few points short. Let's go for it to continue for a couple of games more. But let's talk about Sheffield Wednesday, who, again, like Wycombe, will be relegated tonight. We'll do this with the table up just to make sure I've got all my numbers present and correct. So we are talking, by the way, Blackburn visiting Wednesday. So give me your predictions, please. Wednesday, draw or Rovers. Wednesday, draw or Rovers. But look at the table with me. Everybody, if Wednesday lose, their maximum upside will then be +9, which would be 45. If Derby win, they would be at 46. Ergo, Wednesday could not catch them. Wednesday lose, Derby win. A great football club, Sheffield Wednesday, but they're going to be going down to League One if that happens. Tonight they play Blackburn, and Blackburn did for Derby, didn't they? Although that was a home game. Blackburn beating Derby 2-1 on Friday. This is an away game for Rovers. Get your predictions in, please. Wednesday, draw or Blackburn. There is the homes and aways. Wednesday should have been a win, shouldn't it? Missed penalty, playing against 10 men, and then a late equaliser summed it up, didn't it? On Saturday against Bristol City for Wednesday. Blackburn's away form, poor. Blackburn's form generally has been poor, but they bumped up to 15th just by scoring 4 points in 2 games. Will Wednesday do their part here in a potential relegation scenario? If they lose and Derby win, they go down. What do you guys think on this one? Rovers draw. Rovers draw. Wednesday, Rovers draw. Rovers. Wednesday, Rovers. We're all over the place with this one, aren't we? How is Darren Moore? Got pneumonia after getting COVID as well, poor guy. Wednesday, unhelpful draw. Blackburn beating teams with low confidence, always score loads against them. There you go. Should have been a loss. Wednesday. What am I saying in this one? I don't think Wednesday are going to lose or be relegated tonight in that matter. But are they going to win? Go on. Home. I don't know why. I just think Sheffield Wednesday are going to win tonight. I've got no idea why. Give you no logical response to that. But there we go. We were fairly mixed in the chat. Let's move on. And this is the second last game. I'm just itching to get on the derby, aren't I? Birmingham versus Forest. Get your predictions in, please. Blues, draw or Forest, please. Blues, draw or Forest in the chat. And if we're going to give a big tip of the cap to Coventry, we should also do the same to Birmingham, especially Lee Bowyer, who's got 13 points in 6 games. There's a nice trampoline-like new manager bounce for you. Incredible form for Birmingham. 10 points in 4 games. And that key win with the late goal. Harley Dean, bit of a heckler. And Birmingham won at Rotherham. Chips down. If you're going to accuse other teams of being bottlers, you've got to give Birmingham some credit for winning that really big game. 48. They're looking safe. And with their form under Lee Bowyer, if that even drops off slightly, they're still fine. It would have to go back to Karanka form, as well as a big Rotherham surge. Or can Wednesday catch Birmingham? They can tie Birmingham. So, look, it's Rotherham we're talking about with the games in hand. So Birmingham do look fairly safe. Forest, I predicted a trend up between now and the end of the season, and they went and lost at home to Huddersfield, having got 8 points in 4 before that. Dreadfully confusing. I don't get it. There we go. Will Chris Hughton get them back around? Is this one a nailed-on draw? Hughton versus Bowyer. Bowyer playing quite straightforward but effective football at the moment, and Birmingham doing really well. Look at Birmingham's home form. Sensational. 4 wins in 5, 12 points in 5 games. We've got to give one of them to Karanka as well, because that came against QPR, didn't it? Forest's away form, they don't lose many. I don't know. Do you have Birmingham as slight favourites given the current form, but Forest are higher in the league and it's Chris Hughton? I don't know. Feels like a draw to me. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Draw, Forest. Blues, draw, Forest, draw. Let's try and click through most of these. The Chris Hughton derby, very much so. Blues, draw. Helpful draw. There is such a thing. Let's keep bouncing through these. Birmingham, Bowyer been so impressive. Draw. Brum. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I know I get called sit on the fence, but it just feels like a draw to me. Draw. And we can move on to Preston versus Derby. Now, I am fascinated in what you guys think for this one. So, Preston, draw, or Derby? Let me know. This is a huge game for Derby. It really, really is. I know we still have to have a Rotherham win for things to go really south for Derby. However, if Derby do keep losing, you know, that pressure, and this is no disrespect to Rotherham, who even Rotherham fans would admit they are smaller in stature and history than Derby, but this would be disastrous, wouldn't we? And we think maybe some parts of the takeover are dependent on Championship football, maybe a bit of rumour and innuendo in there, but it would be seismic if Derby went down. Okay, Sheffield Wednesday, equally sort of big club, but obviously with the -12 at the start of the season, I know it went down to -6. That felt slightly more of a possibility. But yeah, disastrous season seems to be unfolding for Derby. Can Wayne Rooney get the win that they really, really need in this one tonight? That would potentially relegate Derby. And am I right? Any kind of Derby win relegates Wycombe. No, they can still tie them on points. They would have to win, though. So, yes, let's have a look at the numbers. Get your predictions in, please. Huge game, this one. Preston versus Derby. A Preston a lame duck for Derby without a manager. A little bit on the beach, 49. They have got 5 points in the last 4, but they need a bit of a restructure in the summer, don't they? Manager's gone. Pearson has gone to Bournemouth, hasn't he? And Davies has gone to Liverpool. Are they a lame duck? I don't know. Derby a lame duck. Let's look at the homes and aways. The home team is Preston. Their home form is poor across the season and recently only 2 points in 4. Derby's away form is just as bad. 1 point in 5. What do you guys think is going to happen in this one? Huge game, this, isn't it? Let's have a look. Right, here we go. Draw. Preston, Derby, draw. Preston, Derby, Preston, draw. Home, Preston. Anyone got a coin? Yeah, right. Preston, Derby, draw. Mengi out for the season. That weakened Derby at centre. Is Clark still out for Derby as well? Anyone know? Preston, Derby, Preston. I think we're past that one. Paul, Derby, Preston, home, please, says Jeff. Preston, draw. David Nugent, Derby, you love to see it. Preston and a draw. It wouldn't be playing my joker. Yes, it would be playing my joker because Derby are 4 positions. I don't know. I think they're going to do it. I think big game Rooney is going to appear here in the dugout. Go on. Away. Wow. What did I predict? I predicted Wednesday would win, didn't I? And I predicted Wycombe would win. Okay. So I've predicted all of those teams are going to win. That ain't going to happen, is it? But I don't know. Derby win, I think. Backs against the wall. Some underperforming players, an underperforming club. Can they do it tonight? Goodness me. Going to be an exciting one, isn't it? Let's get into a bit of Q&A. We'll go up to the hour, so we're at 52. We'll try and do quick fire Q&A. It's always good fun on the channel. Get your questions in, get them coming. Now, let's say thank you to the Donovan brothers who sponsored the show in love and memory of Michael, the South East London lifelong Millwall fan and fan of this show. And one more time, 20% off at Cards Plug. Get your Cards Plug. They're really good. Look at that. Proper good. I don't know even what you know what you call this material. I suppose I should have looked that up before I took the sponsorship, shouldn't I? Cards Plug /Bloom. Enter the discount code Bloom at checkout. Go and have a look. Excuse me. Right, let's get into some Q&A. Get the questions coming. And we will do a few more minutes in this here stream. Remember to hit like, subscribe if you have not already. Right. What are you guys saying? Right. No super stream tonight, Leeds 2021. I am on Blue Monday duty. So I'm covering Northampton versus Ipswich. But I will be super streaming tomorrow. Right, let's get through some of these. Is player power too much? Has it got Jose Mourinho sacked? I'm not sure player power got Jose Mourinho sacked. I think Jose Mourinho got Jose Mourinho sacked, and it's not looking very viable. 20% off what, though? Paul, come on. Use your nuggin. 20% off whatever you order at Cards Plug. Off your order. There we go. Should we put Paul in pedant corner for that question? Do you think government should get involved with what's happening? Yes, 100%. And moreover, they should get involved in regulating football a little bit more. We all know Ben's got more pace than that. Yeah, pace up here, maybe, not down there. Do you think Posh, Tigers, Mackham's coming up next season? Posh and Tigers, definitely. Not sure about Sunderland. Little slip now. Is Streaky Lee back? Late to the party. 40 points a realistic target for Wycombe, be respectable. Yeah, agree with that. Odds against them from the start of the season in terms of size. Sky needs to put its money where Neville's mouth. That's very well said. Commit to paying for the Premier League rights, regardless of the team involved. Yeah, and then not go and buy the rights to the whatever's going to go on. Lebo, you're the best manager in the league. Maybe not, but certainly doing a great job. Do you think the 12 big clubs are just posturing for a better deal from UEFA? I don't know, Russell. If they are, it's a hell of a bit of posturing, isn't it? They're really calling everyone's bluff. And are they going to damage themselves irreconcilably? Another good word for a musician. And really put themselves out in the cold? Or do they even give a flying, you know what? Sorry, Super Chat, just coming in there. Ricky, afternoon, Ben. Villa, Forest, Derby, Leeds, more European trophies than Arsenal, Spurs and Man City. Can't think of a single positive. No, it's not about best, it's about biggest. And it's about who's the biggest now, who can pull the most fans into the stadium, who's got the most 8K cameras, who's got the most corporate hospitality boxes, who can bring the most commercial revenues. Right, where are we going? Would stop another Bury or Bolton? We'll see. Have you seen It Might Get Loud? No, I haven't. What's that about, Ben? Go to order at Wagamama would be a katsu curry, but I wouldn't get a meat one, actually. I do like the vegetarian one. And then maybe a nice Asian beer, I think, just to go down with that. And that really expensive beef tartare thing for starters. So nice. And then I won't have meat for mains. Read Ipswich Times, a good article about Mark Ashton. Haven't seen that. Link me up, Jeff. Favourite away day? I used to like Villa when they were in the Championship. Proper away day, that. German model is the way forward. We will see. Does the chicken discount work in Milton Keynes? Liam, email me about that. I can sort you out with that. I'm willing with favourite chicken. Post Super League, should Leagues 1 and 2 revert to Division 3 North? I don't know. Perhaps there is an answer that would be more sensible. I think, call me an idiot, and I'm sure I'm not going to get called an idiot. I think 4 divisions is viable, pro, if the wealth goes down like that rather than like it does at the moment. Good article. Okay, can someone, Paul or Jeff, can someone link me up with that? Sounds good. Darren Moore, hopefully back into it. Okay, great news. We welcome him back. Opinion on banning the top 6 from European competitions. Tom, look, we talked about grandstanding and posturing. Well, is that what UEFA are doing now? And FIFA saying no World Cup, no Champions League. Even if it doesn't happen, I don't know on what grounds you can do it if it doesn't happen. Is signing a letter of intent grounds? I'm sure some people who are the most outraged will think it probably is. Huddersfield v Barnsley, last day of the season. No, that was the one you were talking about. All fans celebrated together. Yeah, I'm sure that's not good for competitive balance, is it? Fundamentally fraud from start. Football fans want his competition. Absolutely. Jason, Everton fan, proud of the Everton statement was great this morning. Wasn't it? Yes, we have mentioned that one, Joe, but thank you for getting involved. Anyhow, lockdown has shown the Big Six only need the fans on the sofa. Yeah, well, but Steve, we know they only need the TV to, grab their money and fill their pockets. There are other more important things that would disappear if they didn't have that, and they've done this season knowing that the fans are going to be back. But there we go. Qatar, US, yeah, of course, that'll be where it's going to go, isn't it? Spurs being on there is an absolute joke. I agree, Ricky. But look at their beautiful stadium. And look at their ability to host games and look where they're based. It's not best, it's biggest. And they've got the biggest stadium. They're in the biggest city and they can draw the highest commercial revenue. So got to split the top 6 first. First 3 to denounce the Super League don't get points reduction. Yeah, maybe. Oh, yes, I have seen Jimmy Page and Jack. Yeah, I have seen that documentary. And the best bit is Edge and Jack White, who are both rock stars in their own right, when Jimmy pays and they look like little boys in front of one of their heroes. Nice stuff. Need Hastings on the case. Yeah. As well, I can't do a Northern Irish accent. East Anglia Daily Times. I think I've read that. Yeah. I think we might be talking about the same thing. Okay. We've gone the hour. Thank you for the quick Q&A there. Thank you, everybody, for joining. There's the Cards Plug. They're going to be sponsoring us to the end of the season. So do go and check that out. 20% off your order, whatever you spend there. Maybe I'll reword that. I thought it was clear. There we go. Cardsplug.com/Bloom. Discount code Bloom at checkout. Right. I am, as I said, on Blue Monday duty tonight. But Championship review, 1 p.m. tomorrow, the 5 games tonight. And we will be super streaming tomorrow night. If you're on Patreon, I've seen plenty of Patreons in here. Get involved in the Q&A. I'm sure it's going to be a pretty hefty one this week. If you want to shout out, I will put them up over the outro. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for the predictions. Keep in touch tonight, although I'll be on Ipswich. You can see me on the Blue Monday channel. What's the 7 o'clock kickoff? It's sort of 9-ish, I think, tonight. So get involved in that if you want to come and say hello there. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And it is a lovely, gargantuan giant over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.